Brago.
Sai.
So now that we don't have Shiki in the story, still, do you think we will ever see Shiki?
Yes.
Okay.
We will. But I think it's going to be in passing, right? Like, it's going to be a situation where we see a guy and it's going to be like blonde hair. Maybe you're going to see the feet that are blades, or maybe just like bring him into the final war and have him do something. But as far as him being a focus of an arc,
Yeah, same.
no. It's too late. It's too late in the game. What do you do with him? Like I said, you can do the NL thing that we expect Oda to do, where NL is just going to show up and wreak havoc. He's going to get beaten probably, but he's not going to be like the focus anymore. I think Shiki is like, it's the same thing. And again, Shiki's so powerful and his Delta Fruit is so broken. Like, how do you control that? And the worst thing to do is bring Shiki back just to get beaten rather easily.
Yeah.
So, no, we see him again, but not in
maybe
the
like a
capacity that we thought.
Denden Mushi, right?
No.
Like or not Denden Mushi, but like a broadcast. Like imagine they're broadcasting the final war, and then Shiki's one of the guys watching.
So you say watching it, yeah. And I would like an explanation as to why he didn't do anything, But then the movie isn't canon necessarily, so it's not something we really have to focus on. But in chapter 0 that people talk about, or episode 0,
Shiki's a weird one.
I don't know. I thought Shiki was a cool thing, but I think because of how One Piece has been going, where other stories kind of take certain liberties where the main characters aren't always the focus. With One Piece, it's like it's all about the Straw Hats.
Yeah.
Like Shiki would be a thing if this was Hunter x Hunter. Whereas like I could see if this was Hunter x Hunter, Shiki having like his own stretch of like in his own arc, pretty much, where he's doing his thing. But it's different with One Piece. So
no, I agree. And then
cool.
plus like One Piece, we're in the final saga, right? Oda wants to end the story soon. He's talked about ending One Piece like in 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, multiple times now. So I don't think there's enough room for Shiki.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, he's guessing. He's guessing.
What about a movie?
Another movie for Shiki?
Yeah, but like a canon movie where like he's not the focus, but he's in it.
I would love that. It reminds me of Broly, right? We had a Broly,
Yeah.
Broly Second Coming, and then Broly, what is it, like Resurrected or something like that?
It's a bunch of Broly movies.
Yeah, there's four in total.
Yeah, so like a Shiki one where it's like a canon type movie where you cover the in between, right? That 20 years and him coming back and like having something happen within like a very specific time. That would be cool, but I don't think we have the time.
Yeah,
Shiki
definitely not. Not anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Scopper, I think Oda would have always made time for him though, because we still expected him at maybe Lodestar. If not Elbaf, Lodestar. If not there, maybe Laugh Tale.
I thought it was guaranteed after the flashback, right? After the Odin flashback, I was like, okay, we're definitely going to get Scopper in the story.
Oh,
because Oda didn't make him like a true background character. Like he was a focus. So he really built up that trio as, okay, they were a thing, which we kind of knew, right? That it was 3 of them. But like him having solid agency in the flashback with Odin, I was like, all right. Like he was the one fighting Odin.
Yeah.
In the anime. But he had that, so I was like, okay, at some point we're going to see Scopper again.
I knew Scopper was going to be important the minute we learned his name. Just the whole, like, gold, silver, copper.
Yeah.
Like, the minute Oda established that, I was like, okay, like, we'll definitely see him at some point.
Yeah.
Unless he's, like, dead. Which, we still didn't know.
Which would be crazy.
Yeah, he's just died off screen.
Storyline if he died, depending on who killed him, right? But no, he's alive and well. In Elbaf.
Hanging around. Cool. Just, with Ripley, with Sun.
Yeah, having a whole family.
Is this like a good ending?
It's the best you can hope for.
Yeah.
Especially considering how notorious they were.
Yeah, they're not like coming after him, right? Like he's just a free man, not worried about the Marines. I mean, Elbaf is really safe. Honestly, like why doesn't Rayleigh and Shaki move to Elbaf?
I think they just settle down in Sabaody and they don't go after Rayleigh anyway, even though they know where he is. So it's just like,
Yeah.
Like, why even bother? Like, we're not getting bothered. And I can still coat and I can still go after young women. So,
yeah, he could still gamble too, right? Because he did
like
gambling.
But like I said, it's so interesting. Like, it's sometimes you crave like a deeper story. Like, I'm not talking about like, we don't have to be Vinland Saga.
Yeah, where every character gets like fleshed out, like a backstory.
No, not necessarily, but like, imagine Rayleigh and Scopper, they're not bothered because they're legendary, right? And
Yeah.
people are like, all right, it's not even worth bringing them in at this point. Roger's dead. It is what it is. But what about the other crewmates that aren't as strong, but you know they're Roger pirates that are like consistently hounded by the world government, like, or by other pirates, which are like, no, that's you're one of the guys in Roger pirates, you know? Where it's like, what if we get like a story about them? Like, do they hate Scopper and Rayleigh for not like helping them, or
I blame them. Live in Elbaf, man.
go to Elbaf? But it seems like getting to Elbaf isn't as easy. Like,
How hard could it be to just call up Scopper and say, "Hey, man, like, can I crash? Can you come get me or something?" You know what I mean?
Scopper's probably like, yeah, man, I don't want too many of you guys here. It's gonna bring too much attention on me and my family here, man. You got to figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
Because how often do you think Scopper and like really talk?
I would like to imagine they have a Denden Mushi that connects them. Like a, like a Discord call, right? Like, hey, every Saturday night at 9 p.m., get all the crew in the call. Just like, let's have some fun. Because it's possible.
Maybe Roger's death.
They can be long range.
That anniversary of Roger's death, they kind of.
Exactly, yeah. That's a good day. Sad
Or
day,
maybe
but
they
good
all
day.
just like toast. Because it feels like, how long was Kaido and Big Mom separated? It feels like they said a long time, right?
Apparently, ever since Rock's disbanded, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Which
They just never kept
is
in
crazy
contact.
considering like Big Mom saved Kaido's life. So like, how Oda talks or makes it seem is just like these pirates, they go their separate ways, and then like
That's done.
unless we somehow decide to cross paths, like we just don't talk. I mean, Shanks went and visited Rayleigh. Scopper went and visited Crocus. So I guess you have to kind of initiate, depending.
Yeah, you have to go to them.
It's not like hey, old times, huh?
What have you been up to?
Yeah, how you been, man? It's like, how's the wife and kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool if they did, but it's tough because I'm sure it's like you don't want to bring attention because world government could be listening in. You know, like what if they don't know Scopper's on Elbaf? Then it's all of a sudden it's like, all right, they're there. Which this also makes a lot of sense because Scopper's gonna have to move and go into action because they're trying to bring Elbaf onto the world government. So he's gonna fight somebody.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna fight somebody. So that's gonna be cool.
No, now I gotta ask. But do you think we'll ever see the rest of the Roger Pirates show up? They don't have to be important. They don't have to get like a full-on, backstory or nothing. Like, imagine the final war. I could definitely see Scopper and Rayleigh maybe there or maybe doing something. But do you think we'll see like the rest of the Roger Pirates behind them? Like, would that be kind of cool? Like a group of old men roll up on a ship doing their thing.
It'd be really dope
What's up?
if we've already seen them and they're like played key roles in Luffy's journey, but we have no idea that they were Roger Pirates. Like Gats.
Yeah, Gats from Dressrosa. Okay, but would they be actively helping Luffy, or is it just like coincidence?
They kind of like looking at it where it's like, it's just they help Luffy, but they didn't know he was. They weren't like looking at him like, yo, we're gonna help him because it reminds us of Roger. It's just like they're just helping him. It just happened to be fate.
Okay, I was about to say, because like if they're all just helping Luffy knowingly, then I think that's too much plot armor, right?
No,
like,
they're not
essentially
helping
doing
him, though.
Luffy's journey for him, which I don't think I would like.
Yeah.
But
No, it's just like
Yeah.
it's just like small moments where they just happen to
Okay.
like help him out, and it's like Roger Pirates. Because I feel like if you have the thing where all the Roger Pirates show up just for the final war, it's just like it feels like Avengers when all the women teamed up in that one shot.
I hated that.
The worst shot.
I love
in
women,
that movie.
but let me tell you, that was not a great shot. That was just so cheesy.
Yeah, same. It was just what?
Dude,
It's
imagine we have that in One Piece. Like all the women team up.
just all over the
unironically.
battlefield. On the battlefield, by the
Unironically.
way. Just
Yeah.
team up and like woman girl
Randomly.
power, and then Yamato's there.
Yeah. Oh. So, funny enough, we know the names of all the Roger Pirates.
Yeah, they're releasing the SBS, right? Or a Viva card or something.
Yeah. Can you name off a couple? How many do you know?
Not including Roger.
Not including Roger, Scopper, Rayleigh, Crocus, or Odin. And Shanks and Buggy.
Shanks.
We're talking about like the crew. The Staplemen. And no Toki and no Bullet either.
No Momonosuke, no
Nope.
Theory.
Nope. You know who I'm looking for.
Katakuri?
No Katakuri. No. So I'll name him off. We got a guy right beside Crocus. He's called Seagull Guns Mazdan. We have a fishman named Sunbell, a guy named Taro, a guy named Doringo, Peter Moo, Millet Pine, Gonryu, CB Gallant, Donkino? It's like Don Quixote, but like slightly altered. Donkino, Mr. Momora, Moon Isaac Jr., Yu, Rangram,
Say you?
Hugrin. Yeah, a guy named Yu. YU.
Wait, how many people on this crew? Like, how
He's
big
got a
was
lot,
this boat?
dude. I'm almost done. We got Max Mark, Spencer, Bankuro, Blue Marine, Eric, Rowing, Jackson Banner, and Yamon. And that's it. So
You know how
he's got
crazy
a
this
lot
is?
of people, bro.
That I only know the guys that have had focus. I have no idea. Eric
Yeah, it's just a guy named Eric, bro.
and
It's
you.
funny.
And you said Max Mark?
Yeah, Max Mark.
That's crazy. I definitely know more Shanks Pirates than Roger Pirates.
Yeah,
That's
he had a
crazy.
big crew. This is like
That's
what,
an
like
enormous crew.
25? No, he's got like 30 people. Like
That's
yeah,
a
like
lot
30,
of people.
33? He's got
Mickey.
33, bro.
Such a
Insane.
Mickey, such a Mickey crew. No.
Whoa. What if these... Dude, how would you feel if we meet one of these guys and they get the same Scopper treatment? They're like, Millet Pine, Max Mark? You're telling me those guys, they stood head and toe to Roger, Scopper, and Rayleigh. And then Jimbei's like
Head
in
and
the
toe is
background.
hilarious.
And he's like, oh, you guys didn't know?
You guys didn't know about Max Mark? He trained me.
Who's the fishman guy? You didn't know about
Seabass?
Sunbell?
Oh yeah,
You call him
Sunbell.
Seabass. Yeah, Sunbell. He's just a giant.
Yeah, that's where
blue
we got the
guy.
name of Sun Pirates from Sunbell.
Sunbell looks kind of ugly.
That was one with a big lip.
Yeah, and he has like no neck. He's kind of shaped like Queen.
Yeah, that's what they say. He was in the egg.
Yeah. They're saying he was the egg.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Right.
dude! Type in Sunbell episode 0. Apparently, Toei forgot he was a fishman, so they drew him as a human, and they colored him in white and not blue.
Oh my gosh.
Do you see it?
I see him.
Woohoo!
Who's
That
that
is-
guy?
Dude, that is something, man. Dude,
Oh,
Toei
no.
did not know this guy was a fisherman. Ooh, that's
Yeah.
That's
This
cursed.
minimal white guy, a fat white guy. That's crazy.
It's got a stacked
This-
crew. I hope they're strong. Like, imagine we see all these guys pull up in the final war. You'd hate that? You feel like be like kind of Mickey Mouse, Women Avenger
Yeah, like,
style?
what are you doing here? You guys all 70 years old. Go sit down somewhere.
Go retire,
The
man.
stars have taken the stage, man.
Yeah. Well, what if they're all at a... Okay, how about this? We see all the Roger Pirates, but they're not in the final war. They're just at a bar celebrating. Laughing.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah,
They're
that would be
just, like,
kind of
hanging
cool.
out. Yeah, but them being involved in the war, nah, their time has passed. Let them
Yeah.
enjoy retirement.
Yeah, let them have fun.
Yeah, let them enjoy their time.
So, I gotta ask, as far as Scopper versus Luffy goes,
Yeah.
you think that Scopper's definitely gonna school Luffy then? Or also, do you think any of the other Strawhats are gonna jump in? Like, people are saying Zoro is enough for Scopper. Do you agree with that take?
Even if he is, I think we have to look at it in pockets, right? Where how Oda writes and how anybody writes. There's certain instances where a character, because of plot, just cannot be beaten. And it's certain instances where a character, no matter how strong they are, just can't win. Remember like Into the Spider-Verse?
Never watched it. I don't like the
You've
art
never
style. No. It looked really cool in the small clips I saw, but I can't do the art style. I put it on. I actually rented it. And I watched like the first 5 minutes and I said, yeah, I can't do this. So I just stopped.
Guys, Sai has never seen Into the Spider-Verse.
But you know what I did see? A really good movie the
No.
other day. The Hard Eyes
No.
Killer.
No. The Hard Eyes Killer?
Yeah, like Valentine's Day Killer, like the Heart Eyes.
Whoa, is a rock in it?
No, The Rock isn't in it, sadly, but yeah, it's just a killer that wears a mask that has hard eyes.
Oh,
It's
that's
pretty
like The
good.
Strangers.
It's kind of like Scream, I would say. It's very Scream-esque. It's not bad.
Okay. Got a solid 6.7 out of 10.
Hey, for a horror movie, that's like a S plus. I'll take it.
You know what horror movie I saw lately that I was like, I kind of enjoyed it.
What is it?
It's a movie where like the day keeps replaying over and over.
Happy Death Day?
Happy Death Day.
Yeah, that's fun. I love that. It's like
I
ReZero.
enjoyed that. Yeah, I enjoyed Happy Death Day. That was 2017, by the way.
Yeah, did you watch the second one?
Yeah, it was in 2019. I watched the second one as well.
Yeah, second one's
I
fun
liked
too.
them.
Yeah, not bad. I like the main character. I like the scene where like she just stops caring and she just walks outside naked.
Yeah.
She's like, who cares? I'm
Just
gonna
like,
die
all right, whatever,
anyways.
man. I'm gonna die. Yeah, I like that movie. Nice, cool slasher. But Hard Eyes Killer, interesting. But I guess I was talking about Into the Spider-Verse about like how certain times where people can't win. Let's look at Luffy versus Kaido when we first got there. Doesn't matter how strong Luffy was at the time. It wasn't going to be a good showing, and he wasn't going to win just because
Kaido's the main
it's
villain.
for the plot.
He can't.
Yeah, main villain just can't win. It was like a time in Dressrosa where Luffy's fighting Doflamingo, and then Doflamingo cornered him, and he's like stuck in water, and it's like this whole elaborate, crazy thing where Doflamingo could have finished him off right there. It was like, of course, haha.
Or like when Doflamingo shot Law. It's like, dude, just shoot him like 2 more times and he'd be dead.
Yeah, he's dead, right? And then that effectively gives him an edge in so many aspects, like because it's just one of those things. But I guess in general, the story, you can't go past where the story wants it to go. So even if Zoro's stronger than Scopper right now, this is not Zoro's moment. It's Scopper's moment. So Scopper is going to look more impressive than Zoro next week.
And I would say the same with Luffy.
Yeah. I think he's going to show him. He's going to show him up through experience. It's not that he's stronger. It's just that it's just his time. It's his moment. It's his chapter. His time to shine. Like, it's fine.
And it's kind of like an anime collab. If you've ever seen 2 animes combine or do a special OVA, like main characters meet, they fight, and then guess what? They're always going to draw. Like nobody's going to beat the other person. Yeah, Toriko and One Piece, right? They're clashing, and then they both leave, and they're like, oh, that guy was really
One
strong.
Piece Dragon Ball?
Yeah, Toriko, One Piece, Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball won, but that's like, they love Toriyama, so that's fair. But as far as like any other One Piece collab, like, yeah, Luffy clashes, they have fun, they leave. It's like, you watch Baki?
I've seen a few episodes, yeah.
Yeah, Baki had a collab with another anime that does the exact same thing called Kengan Ashura. And the main characters fight, and then they walk out, and they're like, yep, that's a draw, that's a tie, we'll see you tomorrow. It's like, yeah, it's respectable. Like, we can't just make Scopper look bad, right?
Doesn't make sense to.
Doesn't make sense.
No. So I think Scopper's going to be fine. Going to be cool with his black boots. But he's not going to look bad at all.
Yeah. And we'll probably learn like some nice observation feats, right? Maybe Scopper schools us, shows us a new realm of hockey.
We learn that's what Loki's doing. Because people are like, oh, he's just seeing through the bandages, bro. It's not that deep. I'm just like, all right, maybe.
But maybe it's observation.
Maybe it's observation, Maybe it's something cooler than him just seeing through the bandages.
Yeah, it's a one-way bandages. I still love that theory. It's so funny. Like, yeah.
The one-way bandages.
Or maybe there's like a little slit in between the bandages and Loki can just see through them.
Maybe he's the Hard Eyes Killer at this point.
Yeah. So Scopper, dude, I'm excited. So when it comes to Scopper, what are you excited to see? Like flashbacks, certain lore, what he's been up to? Like when you think of Scopper moving forward and what he has in his girth, what are you excited to like lick up?
Oh, that was certainly a mouthful. I would say that
Might have to cut that.
I guess I'm excited to see how he compares to Rayleigh. I think Rayleigh's initial showing, right? Obviously, in the slave house was cool, but his speech, his woman, her hype for him before we even saw him, right? She's like, oh, he's 100 times stronger than any of you boys.
Yeah, don't worry about Ray.
And then after that, Kizaru's about to pack the crew up. He floats out of nowhere, kicks light, then stalls Kizaru. Sentomaru's like, nobody's ever done that before. And Kizaru's like, well, we need more backup to bring him in. It's just like a whole thing with Rayleigh. Where everybody still thought Rayleigh was stronger than Luffy and Sabaody. with Scopper, it how not necessarily equal, but comparable. How do you make that? I think you have a situation where like this old man is going to have such a dominant showing that he's going to jump. Like I had him in my top 30 before he was revealed back in December or early January, and I had him at like 26 because like I was like Scopper's going to show up in this arc. I have to respect him putting him at 26. Do you know what he's right? Who he was behind?
Who?
Katakuri. But I feel like
I
feel like
no, you gotta stop bringing up Katakuri. He's not beating Scopper.
We don't know. I mean, we don't know.
What do you mean we don't know? You can't just say that.
We don't know. Like,
didn't Katakuri lose stocks this week because of Ulti showing up and Ulti lost to Who's Who? So Katakuri's just Who's level.
That's crazy talk by people that we don't even acknowledge, right? But he's at 26, right behind Kat. I think once we see the showing next week, he's gonna scale up probably to the teens. You know, people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, like this guy is incredible. And again, you never want to discount old guys. And the reason why he was that low on the list was because mainly he wasn't even sure he's gonna show up, right? So it's just like I want him on the list. So like, let me just throw him somewhere. But I think he would scale to like where Rayleigh is, you know, in the teens. Yeah. Close to Garp.
Behind
around
Rayleigh,
that area.
I would say.
Yeah, behind Rayleigh, you know, just because again, Oda likes his old men, right? He loves them.
He nerfs them, but he loves them.
Look bad. He loves it's like even like think about the old guys. Like which old guy you think had the worst showing? Maybe like our boy that was fighting Garp. Don Chin Jiao, maybe, had the worst showing out of all the old guys.
I forgot about Don Chin Jiao. Yeah, Don Chin Jiao is the worst, but it was still decent.
But they even gave him hype,
yeah.
Right? They said Garp had to go train.
Garp had to train like what, a couple of months. He had to punch down some mountains to beat Don Chin Jiao.
So it's just like,
and then he could split an ice continent in half with his head in his prime.
He's gonna give them hype. So for me, man, I'm interested to see how does Oda make him comparable to Rayleigh, which with, again, probably not having Conqueror's Haki. Probably.
I think he might have it, dude. A guy that looks like him. Ooh.
Here's the thing.
I don't know.
Here's the thing as well, though. If Scopper has Conquerors.
I know what you're going to say.
You know, stocks up, baby. Stocks up for Sanji, baby.
Yeah, Conquerors on that's what people are saying.
Conquerors on the way.
I think that's why people don't want it. I mean, I want it personally, but yeah.
I wouldn't mind it.
It wouldn't be bad, right? Makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, bro, when you think about it, most of the strongest characters in One Piece, they have Conqueror's Haki. Like, I'm talking about a true difference makers in the story. They have Conqueror's Haki, right? Like, it's not a coincidence that Katakuri has it. But I'm saying, like, there are a lot of people in the story that I think the upper echelon, they have Conqueror's Haki. Now, Sanji doesn't need it because he has the exoskeleton, he's invincible. He doesn't necessarily need Conqueror's Haki, but if Sanji got Conqueror's Haki, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that'd be good. Good stuff.
I think it would get scary. It would get really scary in the comparison versus Zoro, because I think the exoskeleton and Ifrit Jambe gives him such a bump. You add Conqueror's Haki on top of that with the potential that what he could do, it gets scary. Not saying I don't think he's ever going to be stronger than Zoro, but I think the gap would be like respected a lot more.
Yeah, and then for Zoro though, like he also has more upgrades on the way, like Black Blades, for example, right?
Weapons, yeah. So they okay. By the end of the story, I don't think most people are going to question the hierarchy. It's going to be Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, right? It's going to be clear that that's the hierarchy. Where, you know, I think it's ambiguous right now with the Roger pirates because we don't know enough about them. But I'm sure once we find out everything, it's going to be clear that Roger is above Rayleigh and Rayleigh is above Scopper. But we got to see Scopper showing here versus Luffy and possibly Zoro.
Do you think we will get a Scopper versus the God Knights? And the reason I asked that, it's a couple of different reasons actually, but for Rayleigh, for example, Rayleigh showed up, he beat the guards at the slave auction, he left, and then he came back and then fought Kizaru. Yeah. We could have the same thing here, right? We got the showing, we leave, we part ways, and then later on Scopper shows back up and then he fights the God Knights. But you also have a theory that Greenbull might show up. And I love that theory, by the way. You know, just like how Rayleigh stopped Kizaru, maybe Scopper stops Greenbull. Greenbull would be perfect for this island because of the Atom Tree. I like that theory a lot. So do you think we'll get something like that?
That'd be amazing. Greenbull showing up, I just always, the thought process initially was that Marine presence would be needed to kind of subjugate Elbaf properly, right? Where it's like we have the Marines, you have the world government, they're kind of like, you know, vetting the place and doing a better job. But when you start thinking about the components with the Atom Tree, and then having, now it's adding to the theory with Scopper being known as the Mountain Eater, right? He can cleave the forest. And so it's just like, it makes him like a great opponent for if Greenbull shows up and he can kind of stop him, because Greenbull showing back up would be, it'd be for vengeance, right? Like, one, he's showing back up. He has his own red here now. And he can be like the opposition for Scopper. And then for the Straw Hats, it's not like they necessarily need saving, but again, or they can create very specific situations where they could need someone like Scopper at the time. And then you have the wild card and Loki. So it's like, it's a lot of moving parts. We don't know how many other God Knights are going to show up. We don't know if somebody out like from another faction might come to Elbaf, considering like they're hearing about things with the Straw Hats being there, etc. Or even the Revolutionaries, considering that they're hearing that the God Knights are trying to subjugate Elbaf, because one thing they wouldn't want them to do is like to have Elbaf under their control. So it's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah,
it's a lot of great possibilities.
And going back to last chapter, we don't know who the God Knights are calling, right? Are they calling another God Knight, or are they calling Marines? Like, they never specify. So if Greenbull shows up here, that'd be perfect. And Greenbull works really well when it comes to subjugating people, because he could just use his vines and just capture them. He captured King and Queen and Babanuki and all the fodder all in one fell swoop. Yeah. So bring him here. Yeah, done.
We know how he feels about Celestial Dragons, so working with Shamrock would probably be a pleasure for him.
Do you think he would ask for an autograph?
Probably already has.
Yeah, he has like framed up on his wall. Like, here's Shamrock, here's Gunko. I need like a couple more to complete the set.
When you find out that Greenbull actually fell to his knees, not because of Shanks' Wi-Fi hockey, but because he knew Shanks was a Celestial Dragon and he was a fan.
Oh, dude, imagine we get dialogue like that. Greenbull's like, I couldn't bring myself to fight your brother. I could have taken that red-haired guy, but I didn't want to touch the Garland bloodline. That'd be, dude. Yeah. That'd be a crazy week.
That may be cope, but
it's definitely cope. But it's a crazy scenario to think about, and how outraged people would become.
I know, people be so mad. Like, what? You can just give you? I'm like, nah. Like, I like it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny. It's funny. I like it when stories get divisive or just dumb things happen. That's my favorite thing.
Like when Luffy got knocked out by Kaido when he first got to Wano.
I wouldn't say that's dumb. I thought that was really cool. I like it when main characters get humbled. Not just in One Piece, but in any show, you know? It shows that we have more to grow and to go.
I agree. I love it. Especially
the minute that happened, dude, the minute Luffy lost training arc, we knew it was coming. It was done.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like the journey's too easy. Yeah. And you don't want to feel like, all right, we're not even in the end game and like Luffy's already scaling some of these characters. Like, we want it to feel like a struggle, you know, like he had to struggle really to get to this point. And I think so far it feels that way. You know, there's moments where it's like Luffy's gotten a lot of help, but that's part of his superpower too, that Oda's trying to like get people to understand. However, I do love when the main characters get humbled. Like,
yeah, it's nice.
I think it happens. I mean, it happens in One Piece every now and again. Hunter x Hunter, I mean, it's just, it's a part of it.
So when we saw Rayleigh at Sabaody, the Straw Hats got humbled by Kizaru, Sentomaru, and Kuma. Do you think they're going to get humbled here by Gunko, Shamrock, and the third person?
That would make an interesting story, right? Like if they got humbled. Like, I'm talking about the Straw Hats failed and Elbaf got subjugated.
That'd be really interesting.
That'd be crazy, because it's like, yo, they lost. They just did all that in Egghead and they lost in Elbaf.
It would make it exciting.
Ripley's now a slave. Colin's a slave. Scopper got caught. Dog, that would be groundbreaking. I think legitimately that would, for a lot of people that are kind of like, I get into One Piece, I get back into One Piece whenever, that would bring so many people back, because it's veering away from what typically happens. if the Straw Hats, not saying like Luffy got beat, but they were forced to retreat, considering the powers that be. And then the Giants got captured, all that. It was like, whoa.
People may not like it.
That's a major move.
But it'll be exciting.
It'll be insane because you're like, yo, we got to run it back. Like, Ripley's now a slave, bro? Colin? Oh,
yeah,
man.
we got to beat them. Or maybe like they're the only ones who make it out, and all like the other giants like Dory, Brogy, Oimo, and Kashi, they get captured. Yeah. And they know the Sun God, they're going to be over here doing the stupid dance in prison. Like, free us, Sun God, free us.
Just waiting for Luffy, Yeah. And I think that's something that should happen. Somebody should not necessarily die, but get captured, and it's just like just waiting for the Sun God, kind of telling the other slaves in Mary Jo about the legend, So, I would like it to veer away from the norm. It'll be really great, and I think for me, I'm excited for Elbaf, but I'm kind of apprehensive because I'm worried about the ending and how Oda sticks the landing. Like, not saying the ending of Egghead was bad. I don't think it was bad, but it wasn't the most fantastic ending where I'm just like, man, you gotta wait till the end of Egghead, man. Like,
wait till Emmett deactivates. Wait till you get to the rope. Which it was good at the moment, but at the same time, it's like, dang, the Gorosei really got done in by that, dude.
It's like, I'm like, wow, you can do that. But it's like, okay, like the Gorosei basically just did nothing.
Yeah, we're not like threatened by the Gorosei. Like, if they show up here on Elbaf, like, that'd be crazy. But at the same time, it's like, well, we handled it before. We could probably handle it again.
We can do it again. So
I don't know.
I think that's the thing, the landing. I think for Elbaf is going to be a great arc. The thing that me and I'm sure a lot of fans are not worried, but somewhat concerned about and hopeful for is the ending. Like, how do you make it more interesting for the future? Which, gotta wait and see.
Do you think we will get a God Valley flashback with Scopper? Because he was there.
He was there.
He was present.
Oda may back into it like he did with Kuma, right? Where it's like, whoa, we're in a God Valley flashback. Oh, we're seeing Roger. Oh, we're out of here. We may see Scopper's perspective from something, right? Where it's just like, we have like another perspective, another moment. Maybe we see Kaido, right? Maybe we see Kaido's perspective. He talks about Kaido, and it'd be great if like we get a moment where Scopper sees Kaido in God Valley. Maybe see something like that. But of course, we're not going to see the whole thing. Like, I think Oda's going to tease different perspectives from God Valley and just show different moments until we finally get the entire flashback.
Would you be disappointed if we start the God Valley flashback and we learn that Scopper was knocked out in the first minute?
Oh my, that'd be disheartening.
Yeah, I remember an old video game called Medieval. It's a story about this guy who's like a legendary war hero, and they bring him back to life to save the world. And he's like, guys, I'm not a war hero. And we come to find out that the reason why is just because he led an army, but he was the first person to die. Like, he got shot in the head with an arrow and just KO'd.
Oh my gosh.
So if we come to find out Scopper just didn't witness God Valley, that'd be so tragic. I don't think that's going to happen, by the way. I just think that's a silly idea. But
I wouldn't tell anybody that, though. If I got knocked out first minute, I'm not telling nobody that. At the end of the day, I'll be like, yo, I took out 5,000 men by myself.
I was the guy.
No blade, right? No shoes. Just
I'm the
me.
Mountain Eater.
No, I'm not telling nobody I went out the first arrow. You crazy?
Yeah, no, so the cool thing about God Valley, though, is that Shamrock is here. And Shamrock's daddy was at God Valley. Do you think Scopper is going to lay in some comments about Garling if he sees Shamrock? Like, hey, you're nothing like your dad, or, ooh, you're kind of like your brother, something like that. Can you see Scopper smack talking him?
He seems like a smack talker. Seems like the type to talk a little bit.
Yeah.
So I can see him making some comments. Now, does Oda lean into the Whitebeard comments where it's ambiguous? We said, like, your face makes the scars ache or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
Where people thought about Roger. People thought about Garling. People now thinking about Shamrock. He could allude to some more stuff, which it could build either the Garling legend, or if it was, bro, think about if Shamrock was the one to scar Whitebeard. Like,
it's not, dude, think about how young Shamrock must have been when he did that, though. I don't think it's possible. I think Garling makes the most sense.
Crazy. Garling makes a lot of sense, but even Garling scarring Whitebeard does so much for his perception, right?
Yeah.
Where if he did that, walking into that room with the Gorosei, he's immediately the strongest fighter there, in my opinion. And if he gets the resistance or the durability that they have that nobody can bypass, I mean, That's insane. But also, what if something I thought about? What if Shamrock and Gunko have that, where
Ooh.
they have that insane durability that the
Wait.
other Ancestral Dragons have?
No, I think that might be the case. And you know why? Going back to Sabaody, Luffy and the gang could not hurt Kizaru. Remember, we spent like an entire chapter just... And then Kizaru just like sat there. Like, you can't hurt him. And then Rayleigh came in and he's the one who hurt him. What if we get the same thing here where the Straw Hats try to hurt Shamrock, try to hurt Gunko, they keep on regenerating, and then that's when Scopper shows up and he's like, hey, let me show you how it's done, and then he hurts them. Because Scopper, he was at God Valley. He saw Saturn, he saw the God Knights, right? Not just one or two, he saw all of them. They were all there. Unless Scopper's just like, walking around with his eyes closed, he should know how to fight these guys. And if not him, Roger, Rayleigh. He could ask, like, hey, how'd you do it, Roger? Like, I think Scopper could be how we learn how to hurt these guys permanently. I think the parallels are going to run strong, dude. We get a lot of parallels in this final saga. I mean, Egghead was filled with them, filled with callbacks. Elbaf is going to be no different.
Egghead was filled with callbacks. I think sometimes Egghead, some of the callbacks
went
flat.
No. Which one?
Well, one of my favorite ones is Luffy saying, I'm 100 times stronger now. Right? That was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
But then it didn't feel like we got the conclusion that we would want with that moment.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. That's fair.
I think even Kizaru and Zoro, I would have liked something.
Oh, because Kizaru was stepping on him, about to kill him?
Yeah, just like something to show that you can't ever step on me again.
I was scared.
What you thought?
I thought you were gonna say Luffy versus Lucci fell flat. I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
I love that, dude. Panel to panel, that was great.
Panel to panel was great, but the anime absolutely cooked Luffy versus Lucci. The anime just absolutely. Oh my god, that was so amazing.
Just imagine Lucci versus Zoro in the anime. If they fluff that out, that'll be beautiful.
It'd be great. I think we have Hawk versus Luffy and Zoro was amazing in the anime.
Yeah, and then Hawk was like over here flying backwards.
That was
the anime's
really great.
Oh, it's going good.
The anime has been doing amazing with
comes back in 2 months
with Egghead. I know it's been a while. I stopped watching Fishman Island after the first episode.
Yeah,
the first 2 episodes.
I couldn't do it, man.
Yeah, after the first episode, I was like, all right, this isn't anything different. It just felt like bad art, and they could only do so much with the animation. So it's just like,
and they just had to cut.
It's basically a Fishman Island refresher. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm here for it.
Which speaking of anime, you are like the #1 Eminence and Shadow fan out there, or at least fan that I know of. There's not a lot of them out there.
I'll take it. It's a go-to show.
I'll admit, man, like I started watching a couple of animes on the side, and I was like, you know what? Like I ran out of things to watch, so I decided to pick up Eminence and Shadow season 2.
Okay.
I finished season 1 when it aired, picked up season 2, and I'll admit it's not awful. It's pretty okay. Season 2 is
pretty okay.
You haven't started season 2 yet, right?
I'm starting season 2 this week.
Okay, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it starts pretty strong. I enjoyed the first arc. The second arc is looking okay as well.
Oh man, guys, we tried to tell Sai about Eminence and Shadow.
I still think the premise is stupid, but at least it's it's enjoyable with a nice meal. Eminence and Shadow is okay, better than season 1. Season 1 was not that great, but season 2, it gets a passing grade.
I haven't gotten to season 2 yet, but that means that season 2 is phenomenal because season 1 was amazing. All right, the Eminence and Shadow.
Animation quality is good.
Alpha. Shout out to Beta.
666.
Shout out to Rose.
Yeah.
I'm so many girls.
I'm a big fan. They keep on introducing girls, bro. I'm a big fan of Sid's sister, Claire.
Claire's hilarious.
I love Claire. Claire's my favorite.
I think that the dynamic is funny because like he tries to play like the regular like, oh, I'm just a little brother that's like, just wants to live up and be close to his big sister. Like I'm just nobody.
Yeah.
It's just like,
and then I love seeing like what do they call themselves? The Shadow Army or something?
Shadow Garden.
The Shadow Garden, like seeing Shadow Garden see Claire, and they're like, special target, protector. We gotta make sure nothing bad happens to Claire. It's so funny, dude.
They're so loyal, bro. Like the recent episode
Yeah.
I saw the hideout, and they had like a huge statue of Sid. They're so loyal, man. And even like when they were recruiting somebody, and they're like, "Yo, you just gotta go through the process, man. You gotta go through the process, see if
it's
you can
brutal.
get through it." Nah, it's great. I'm
It's okay.
happy that you're finally joining Shadow Garden, because it's, hey man, it's the best club to be a part of. Everybody out there, you haven't watched Eminence and Shadow, go give it a try, man.
It's all right. Ooh, Daima. It's getting pretty good. What do you think? I know that you've been pretty, you weren't exactly the hypest about Daima. And I agree, right? There's some moments that are pretty awful. I think like straight up 2 out of 10s, but the last episode was decent, right? You know what's funny? I did a reaction on episode, what is it, like 16 or 17, when we fought like the Toku Sentai, and one of the comments just said, Sai is suffering over here. He's pretending that he they're saying Sai's pretending like he's not suffering. I'm like, okay,
So
fair.
just like this.
Yeah, fair enough. But episode 18 was good, right?
I would say this. I can't watch Daima when I'm even remotely tired. Okay. I cannot, like, some of the jokes are funny every now and again. I just can't fathom trying to wrap my mind around the Z fighters getting taken out by guns.
It's hard to justify that.
I don't mind the new Ginyu Force thing, like, but it's just, it takes up a bunch of the episode. And then even when we're fighting Goma,
yeah.
it just lacks something. I don't know what it is, but it's just,
He doesn't feel like a big bad villain, to be fair.
yeah, he just feels like goofy. And, we had like a small fight between Do and Goku, and it's like, you can tell they didn't spend a lot of the budget on the animation, right? They didn't like focus as much on the animation. It was just like, oh, this is a scene that it doesn't need that much focus. Let's just whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe by the next episode, because the end of the episode was great, was interesting, I would say, where it's like, what's gonna happen? Because, again, Vegeta gets done dirty, right? It's like, what?
Yeah, he tries to fight Goma, then Vegeta is like, ha! And then he gets slapped around. It's like, no, dude, why always Vegeta, bro? Why always him?
Again, it's missing an interesting antagonist.
I agree. I like Degetsu, but he got taken out like ASAP.
Degetsu got taken out like almost. It was almost comical how quickly he got taken out
by a hat, bro.
I love Arinsu. I love her because she reminds me of Mira Jane from Fairy Tail.
Oh my god.
So I love Arinsu. But she's not. It doesn't feel like she's a threat. Like she wants like just world domination.
She almost feels like a good person at this point, in a weird way.
Yeah, it just feels weird. And then Goma's he's like the demon world Pilaf. Like
he's a goober.
Like it just seems like he's just gonna fail no matter what. But he's gonna fail upwards.
Yeah.
And so
he also has like a knockoff Pride Trooper outfit, right? Like he looks like Jiren from Super.
It's
one
was
to
like,
one.
yo, I'm like, what is going on? And so, yes, Daima has some interesting moments, but overall, if I had to rate the season so far,
Like a 4 out of 10.
4.5.
Yeah.
Because we've
I'm
had
saying like
too
a 4.
many 5 out of 10s, 4 out of 10s, 3 out of 10 episodes, right?
But there
Where
are
it's
a
like,
couple of like 9s and 8s up there.
I
Mainly
have
just
one-
the fights.
I have 110. There's 110 out of 10, and that's Goku versus the Tamagami.
Yeah.
Thought that was fantastic. The choreography versus the Tamagami, that was just insane.
Yeah.
And then if Vegeta was number 2, I give it like a 9 or 8.5. Other than that, what were the other good episodes? Like versus the Giants,
No.
the Giant Kids.
You like the Giant Kid episode, which I don't agree with. I
thought
think
it was
that episode
funny.
was lame.
I thought it was funny.
Nah, but like, the coming episodes of Daima, I feel like are going to be fantastic. Like, we still have those fusion bugs we haven't used yet. So we're going to see like Vegito, Gogeta, or something new even. And they released an interview today with the guy who made Daima. Not Toriyama, obviously, but, somebody who was beside him. And they said that they're going for like a GT-inspired series, which is why they turned him into
see
kids.
that on Twitter.
Yeah, they like
But
confirmed it. They said, yeah.
You have to make the antagonists more interesting. I think again for like anime stories, the antagonist matters so much. You know, I'm thinking
Yeah.
back to like other anime where, you know, what kind of the antagonist doesn't have to be the best ever, but it have to at least be interesting. You know, like Vinland Saga, right?
Who's the antagonist of Villain Saga? Who would you
Like
say?
initially it's
Askerlad?
Ashkalad,
Yeah.
right? But masterful writing turns him into like
The best character ever written.
I don't want to say anti-hero, like almost he's like almost the protagonist by the end of this first season. Like it's actually
Yeah.
crazy. But he's super interesting, even though we're like rooting for Thor. It's just like, yo, this dude, Ashkalad, he's a menace, he's a villain, but he's cool. Like you like him.
Do you
I
read the
think even
manga?
Thorkill. No, I don't read him. I don't
It's almost over. I think it ends like I think it might actually already be over.
because I enjoyed the anime so much. I was waiting.
Oh, fair.
But I think like you have to like nail the antagonist. So far, the best antagonist in Daima,
Nobody.
the kids. I don't know, the giant. Like I don't know. Like the sea monster.
Like when
What's-
you think of One Piece, right? You think of Emu, you think of Blackbeard, Kaido. Some people still think of Kaido.
When you go back to Arlong, even Mihawk, Krieg, it's like you have these antagonists that you
you
Magellan,
won't forget.
obviously Doflamingo, Crocodile. Like you have these antagonists that you kind of, all right, man. Like this guy, he's a problem. Like there's nobody that I'm looking at in the demon world right now. I'm like, oh man. And we beat the Tamagami so early, and so like they're like, yo, nobody's ever been able to beat the Tamagami. Now all of a sudden, in like a span of 3 days, they all get beaten. It's like, wait, so what's left? It's like, oh, Goma, Goofy Goma, and like,
Goofy Goma.
it's nobody's moving me, bro. Like nobody's moving
No,
me.
I
Like,
agree.
I
You
think
know-
that's the main problem with Daima.
When you think of Bleach too, you got Aizen, bro.
Bro, even with something like that doesn't even necessarily, he's not even a real antagonist, but he felt like it.
Lacan. Yeah, okay.
Yes,
We started the same person. I was like, wait, Lacan from Apothecary?
You
Wow,
already know.
Yeah,
you
I
already know the
dude.
vibes, right?
Great
You
show,
already know
great
the
show.
vibes. So it's just you just got to have that feel, man. And so far, it doesn't have that. I think Dr. Stone does a good job with antagonists too, even though you hate it. I thought they built up the antagonist really well in season 1. IQ, but every anime they do it. Like we love IQ
Zeref.
antagonists.
Fairy Tale.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, but before we fight them, right?
Agnologia.
Acnologia. There we go. Acnologia and Zeref. Combine them.
What's his name was cool at first? Blue Note.
Blue Note. Oh, from Laxus's group.
No, was he? No, he was the guy that like fought against. He fought against Fake Shanks, Gildarts, I believe.
Blue Note Stinger. Oh yeah, him. He did fight against Fake Shanks. That was a decent fight.
Yeah, decent fight. Fairy Tail just had so many great characters, from like as far as from design and I think even motivation standpoint.
It's just crazy because I think back to Fairy Tail and I just don't smile.
Happy makes me smile.
I hate Happy.
I love Happy. I love Gray and his
The fact that he never wears a
his whole
shirt.
gag, like just gets naked everywhere or takes his shirt off. Gajeel.
Gajil's great. Yeah. Laxus is great. I was a big fan of like
Access.
Rogue and
I
Sting.
like Erza.
Erza's
Rogan
great.
Sting was cool. I liked Kana.
Kana, that's Gildart's daughter, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old tier.
Oh, old tier. I can't believe they did her so dirty, bro. I'm still mad about that all
She was
these
so
years
cool.
later. I loved her design. She was honestly one of my favorite characters.
I liked Old tier a lot. Jalal.
Jalal's cool. Stupid mystery though. Stupid mystery, but yeah, he's a cool character.
You don't like Mr. Gun?
Oh no, Mystigon was such a dumb thing to bring in. What was that, parallel Jalal or something? Yeah, it's goofy, dude.
He's just Jalal from Edolas.
It's like the worst mystery out there. Like it's like like Naruto. Who's Toby? Who's Toby? And then you learn about Obito. Like, okay, guys, come on, let's be for real for a minute.
Yeah.
Like, at least for One Piece, we were debating Shiki. We were debating Shiki for a minute, but
Yeah.
come on.
I mean, the Toby Obito, there was some intense theories, man.
Yeah, intense theories, but still, like, we only know one guy that's also missing an eye. Just, the Sharingan. Come on.
Memories, bro.
Yeah, good memories.
Memories.
Let me see here. Oh yeah, what anime are you watching on the side, like, for fun? Like, that you don't record? Do you have any, or do you record all the anime you watch?
Yeah, I pretty much do. I think in general, I watch like other shows, not anime. The Mayor of Kingstown, I watched that offline.
The Mayors of Kingstown?
Mayor of Kingstown. So the town is basically run by like the jail. Like the jail is like the big thing in the city, and he's kind of like the liaison almost between the jail and everything. And so he's like the mayor, where they go through him with relations to the prison. And so he's really important when he really isn't important. And so it's like a very interesting dynamic. But in general, it's a good show.
But I always go back to Prison Break for some reason when I think of like a long running show.
Oh, Prison Break?
Yeah. Never seen it?
No.
It's cool because like at first they try to break out of a prison and he tries to think of like all these different strategies. But by the time you hit season 5, he's over here fighting Poseidon. Why are you laughing?
That's like Fast and the Furious, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. To be fair, it's a guy called Poseidon, but he does fight Poseidon in like the Middle East.
That's funny. I mean, the thing is, there's only so much time you have, right? And there's only so many ways you can break out of a prison until they're like, yo, what's wrong with this prison,
He
man?
breaks out of 4 prisons, I think.
Yeah, so there's only so much you can do it. So many times you can do it. It's kind of like with Fast and Furious. There's only so many times you can like drive a car and make it interesting till they're like, yo, we got to send you guys to the moon, man. And so like, this is just what it is, bro.
I'm sorry, guys, but we have to go to space.
We gotta go to the moon. We just have to.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's just how it is.
That's
man.
how it is. I mean, it's fun. I mean, yeah, like I think he goes to 2 different prisons at first that are normal, and then the next one is like a Mexican prison, and then now he's in the Middle East in a prison fighting Poseidon. So it's just
Jesus.
You gotta
just keeps escalating.
Gotta keep on going. What's the next prison? On the moon too?
It's underwater. It's Impel Down.
Yeah. Imagine we see him in Impel Down. Just Michael Schofield. Shout outs.
That's next.
Yeah, so last thing, Scopper, back to One Piece for one last topic, but do you think we'll see him raging out because they're about to kidnap Ripley and Colin? Do you think that'll even happen? Because Ripley, last we saw, was at the Walrus Academy. Colin, we saw him at the party, but he was running somewhere, so maybe he was going to go see his mom. I don't know. Or is he coming here? I mean, or Colin, he could just be like running in circles at the party.
We see that. I just like did like a through line in my head, and I think to get kidnapped, and then really Scopper joins them to.
Hey, Scopper, Rayleigh, Roger, they're the same person.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shoulder
I think
to shoulder.
Scopper joins them to apprehend. So, I think we see a rage moment where he like shows why he is who he is. It's going to be dope. A dope like flex moment for like a former Roger pirate.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I think so.
So, since you mentioned Rayleigh said he couldn't beat Blackbeard, right? He's lucky that Blackbeard just left. If you put Scopper there too, Scopper and Rayleigh, do you think they could take Blackbeard on Amazon Lily? It's like a hypothetical. Yes?
Yes.
I think it'd be pretty cool, yeah. Because their teamwork should be good, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming they have great teamwork. Secondly, they don't have devil fruits. So I know the Yami Yami no Mi, you don't have to have a devil fruit for it to work necessarily as far as black hole, all that still works. But it's like he's not taking away their devil fruit. So like his advantage that he has over devil fruit users, it doesn't apply here. Let's assume they both have Conqueror's Haki. They're both amazing fighters. They have insane teamwork. I think Blackbeard 1000% loses to them.
And then plus they've seen the Gurgur no Mi, right? Like they know Whitebeard. They fought Whitebeard in the past probably, so yeah. They could probably
I think
like
for really
be fine with
some
that.
Some of it is tongue in cheek. Like some of it, but like I think he realizes it might be a bit too much for him to handle. You know what I'm saying? So
I think I would agree. Yeah. Unless he has like a special power that we haven't seen, then yeah.
Then he pulls that out, then he just knocks out one of them, then it's just a 1v1. But as of right now, based on what we've seen, they win.
I mean, we still don't know how he scarred Shanks, and there might be a bigger story there, but base level Blackbeard on paper that we've seen, yeah. Rayleigh, Scopper, they can take the cake. I mean,
I'm with it.
Dude, introduce the rest of the Roger Pirates too, and he'd be cooked. They should have invited the Roger Pirates to the Payback War, man. What are they thinking?
I think they tried to probably get as much help as they could, and
everybody turned him down.
Yeah, everybody's like, yeah.
I don't want to fight Blackbeard, bro. Yeah, like these guys are just retired, man. Like he has his Hawaiian shirt on, he's chilling.
Yeah, they're like, they've done what they could in their life.
In their time, yeah, in their prime.
In their time, right? Like it's like you get to a point where you have to realize it's time to hang it up, you know? And I think sometimes people don't realize that it's time to hang it up. Accepted it, like, you know, whatever happens in the world happens in the world. We're gonna try to, you know, maybe influence and help where we can, but there's nowhere we're the type that's gonna pull up to Marineford to stop this stuff. We can't. Like that's not our arena anymore. I like the presence of mind that they have and the accepting of, yo, our time is over. Yeah. You know, there's some pirates that just like, they just don't get it. Like, bro, it's done. Hang it up. Retire. They've done that. So
I respect it, because that's what I would do. After you find the One Piece, after you do everything you wanted to do, after you achieve your dream, it's over, man. Just chill. Let the next generation do it. It's not my problem.
Yeah, Marco did it at 45, but that's fine.
I mean, did Marco do it, though? I mean, it feels like he's still kind of riddled with regret from Blackbeard, so I don't know.
It's like Marco just wants to be left alone, bro. He does not want any parts of fighting. He just wants to be a doctor.
Yeah, I'd feel kind of bad if I was Marco, too, bro. He invited Izo to that war. Izo died like a day later. Yeah.
And then Izo barely got any.
Yeah, dude, Izo. I thought in the anime the Izo fight was going to go crazy, but dude, Izo, he got cooked still. Woo, two Shigans.
Shout out to Izo. Unfortunate, but
yeah. At least somebody died.
Rest in peace.
I guess.
Yeah, at least somebody died. At least. Yeah. You always need some type of death, you know?
Yeah. Always need that. With that being said, thank you, Brago, for being here as per usual. I remembered to record my side of this video today.
So no pictures, no Gunner pictures?
Yeah, no Gunner pictures. People were speculating. They were like, Sai, was that second picture your mugshot? It was not. It was my passport photo. I just had that like stored up on my Google Drive. I threw it up there.
Funny enough, it might be Sai's mugshot. You never know.
No, I don't have that picture, but, sad to say. I wish I did. I was like an old Sai.
Did you find it?
No, I haven't really looked. It's like one of those things I'm afraid to look up.
Oh.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere, but first year at college Sai, yeah.
Like a Yakuza?
I don't think so. I think I had short hair back then. I used to like rock short hair for the longest time until like this year.
Like a buzz cut?
Yeah. I had a buzz cut. And I was skinnier too, so I looked like malnourished almost, right? Like, you ever see that meme from like Parasite the Maxim where the guy's like in the prison cell and he's like, and then he like walks in? Yeah, that's kind of what I look like.
I mean,
it happens, dude.
I think for most people, when you look back at it depends, because there's some people when you look back at your old pictures, you're either really fat or really skinny, you know?
Yeah, now I'm like more rounded.
Yeah, more rounded face, or like, you're really just, your head is like a bit too big for your body.
Yeah, you start using skincare as you get older too.
That's true.
You use skincare. I mean, we like, people don't know the side conversations we have. Brago uses skincare like every damn day, every minute.
Yeah, every day, twice a day.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. I mean, I do it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like, yeah, it's better for your skin. It's better to like just take care of your body, take care of yourself. You just, once you get older and you start getting older, it's the little things, man. Like finding like a cleanser for like a good deal. Like a good serum.
Yeah, a nice like CeraVe cleanser. I don't know, man. Like some retinol. I don't know.
It's just those are the wins in life,
yeah. Back in the day, I was like, man, I need to buy some new shoes. But now I go to the store. It's like, hey, any good skincare, any good lotion,
man?
Any
good skincare products here? Yeah. I'm like watching skincare videos. I'm like, okay.
Well, with that being said, I'll be linking all of Brago's channels down below, all 50 of them. Thank you guys for being here as always. Appreciate your time, and we will catch you all later.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Good skincare.
Yeah, take care of
Wash your face.
yourself.